part. So this week we are putting a bit more emphasis in the upper body. I know that some of you, Jackie, always struggles with shoulders, lots of tensions, lots of responsibilities carrying. And also Patricia told me about lower back. So we'll do a bit of shoulder release and lower back tension release. And yes, maybe using your practice to not just focusing in your physical body, but perhaps focusing in anything that you like releasing from your mental body. So yes, good. So let's begin today in a comfortable seated position. So I'm using my bolster here. You can use a bolster or a blanket or a pillow, whatever you have handy. Great. And when we sit here, just making sure that only your sitting bones are supported at your prop. So instead of sitting and collapsing the lower back here, there's nothing. We're not doing anything here. So just walking with your sitting bones, finding the very corner of your prop, and then we feel the pelvis drops forward. We find a bit of space in between the belly button and the pelvic area, and the lower back is aligned with the rest of your spine. So we don't need to think all the time in lengthening the spine. Great. And just finding comfortable place for your legs, maybe crossing legs, or maybe extending your legs. Thank you, Patricia. Digestion poses. Sure, yeah. We'll do some twists. It'll be really good for digestion, and also puppy pose. Yeah, for sure. I'll take that in mind. Thank you very much. Great. So just finding a nice and comfortable place to begin your practice. If the sitting position doesn't suit, always finding your reclining position, laying down on the mat. Very important, finding that length of the spine between the lower back and the crown of the head. Resting the hands around the lap. If we like to receive energy, then we'll bring hands facing, palms facing up. If we like to give some energy in the room, we'll place the palms facing down. And like we usually do, starting to invite the gaze to close. Maybe focusing your attention anywhere in front, if closing the eyes is not a comfortable place for you today. And starting to observe where is the mental body, observing our distractions, observing our worries, our fears. In yoga, we don't avoid those places. We transform our relationship with those places. So let's simply pay some attention without any judgment. And more or less, probably we'll find millions of places. That's fine. is a good way for us to slowly shifting the attention and starting to perceive, noticing those physical sensations. Maybe paying attention to the worries physically engages with a particular part into your body. So paying some attention how the physical body feels, making a body scan from toes to the crown of the head, keeping the curiosity guiding and dropping necessities of judging. And slowly let's dig a bit deeper, starting to observe how the breath is feeling. The same, dropping any judgments, keep continuing to observe. If it's possible, we will find where the breath is physically happening. If it's around the chest, maybe it's around the rib cage, or maybe around the belly. So depending on the situation, we breathe in one way or the other. There is no wrongs and rights here. But now is a moment to bring the attention in the present moment. So let's begin to lengthen the breath. So with your inhalations, trying to expand from the belly, inflating the belly, opening up the rib cage. Also the chest muscles are opening up and all the way to your collarbones. The same with the back of the body, feeling that space that we create around the lungs. And with the exhalation, if possible, on the same way from collarbones, chest, ribs, back to the belly. Good. And we'll try to activate the bandhas. So with the belly button, as we exhale, sending belly button all the way into your spine, stimulating also the digestion. Then with the inhalation again, expanding the wave from the abdomen to the collarbones. Great, so more or less getting used to your full yogic breath. Then we'll repeat a few rounds of pranayama all together. Great, today we'll be practicing square breathing. So we'll be practicing with retentions, with full lungs, but also with empty lungs, if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, then repeating the same without the retentions in between. Great. So we'll begin with an exhalation first. Empty the lungs, drawing belly button into the spine. Starting your inhalation, counting 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Hold 4. Inhale 4. Hold 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 4. Sorry, retain. And now inhale 4. Hold 4. Exhale. Retain empty. Good, so keep going. A few more rounds on your own. Trying to discipline the mind to guide the breath, your own breath. And repeating the last round. And we'll come back into the natural rhythm of breath. Coming back into your whole body, starting to tap thumbs on the rest of the fingertips. Great. If we feel comfortable with eyes closed, we can carry on with the eyes closed. If not, gently we'll be opening the eyes. Okay, so we'll continue in our seated position. We'll keep changing the legs position. So let's send behind the leg we have in front. Great. And we'll continue starting to warm up our neck and head. So let's simply continue by drawing some circles with the head from a really tiny, almost invisible circle around the center edge of your body, starting to expand that circle, drawing circles or spirals. Spirals, I think is a better term. So just keep expanding that. Spiral, any direction, we'll do both. If possible, keep engaging the movement with the breath. With the exhalations, chin goes close to the throat, and with the inhalation, the head drops back. So when we drop the head back, Sometimes we feel lots of tensions around the throat. That's fine if that happens, allowing a bit of space in between lips. Great, and when we reach the biggest spiral that we can make with the hat, then we'll start anti-clockwise or and the other direction from the biggest circle, slowly closing back to the tiny, almost invisible one. Great, maybe we find in a particular moment those tensions, a bit of pain, that's fine. We keep ourselves inquire open until we reach back our center edge. Great, so we'll be doing exactly the same with the shoulders. On the inhalations, shoulders come front, up, with the exhalations back and down. And maybe helping yourself, sliding hands around the lap. Great, then a few more circles at the other direction. So we'll be inhaling back, then up, exhaling front and down. And back to your neutral spine. Good, then feel lion breath now to really drop tensions from the shoulders. Powerful practice. So with the inhalations, reaching up with the shoulders close to the ears. And now we exhale powerfully through the mouth, dropping both of the shoulders. And repeat a few more times. Very good. Great, so we can continue sitting in our support. Great, so with the next inhalation, we'll be reaching all the way up with both arms. Interlacing hands. Then with the exhalation, sending shoulder blades away from each other, starting to arch the spine as we drop both arms down towards the mat. Tilt the tailbone forward, so we find that movement coming into the spine, and repeat a few more rounds on your own time. Just bringing as much movement as possible in between the vertebrae. Great, and on the next inhalation, we'll be reaching again all the way up. And with the exhalation, let's twist to the left and drop in both hands. Oops. Inhaling, finding the length of the spine. And with the exhalation, slowly, slowly twisting. Maybe neck. Sending nose to the left shoulder. Then we stay here for about 5 good breaths. Emphasizing your exhalation. So exhalations but longer than your inhalations. Great, and the last deep breath here. And using the next inhalation to send the left arm all the way up, parallel to the left ear. And from here, keep the chest open, starting to exhale, tilting the body to the right. So keep the upper body opening. Good stretch at the left lateral. We don't need to go really deep in the pose to feel those sensations. Very good. And with the next exhalation, we'll drop the left hand on top of the right lap. And we'll find the arch of the spine. So dropping head, feeling head and neck heavy. And a bit of a flow for the spine. So with the inhalations, lengthening the spine as we open the arms, sending arms behind as much as we can, opening up the chest muscles, sending shoulder blades close to each other. And with the exhalation, opposite, arching the spine, arms back to your lap. Good, so repeat a few more rounds, maybe closing the eyes for a better connection with the breath. And the last round. On the next inhalation, we'll be opening up as we reach up. And with the exhalation, dropping both hands at the front. Good. Pressing fingertips, inhaling, lengthen the spine. And with the exhalation, walking with hands. Finding the stretch at your hip of the front leg. Good. And maybe allowing head and neck to feel heavy. We'll wait here for about 10 good breaths. So really focusing into your exhalations. And the last couple of breaths. Then slowly using next inhalation, walking with fingertips back to center. Alright, so from here we'll be changing again position for the legs, and we'll do the same on the other direction. So a few more rounds, inhaling, reaching up, interlacing fingers, exhaling, arching, belly button into the spine, and dropping both thumbs. Couple more times. Nice. Then inhaling, reaching all the way up, lengthening the spine. And with the exhalation, twist to the right. Dropping hands wherever we reach. And again, inhaling, lengthen the spine. Exhaling, twisting the neck towards the right shoulder. And about 5 breaths. And using next inhalation to reach up with the right arm, parallel to the right ear. And with the exhalation, finding that arch towards the left. Keep opening up the shoulders, the chest. And with the next exhalation, we can now drop the right hand on the left lap. Then arching the spine, feeling the head heavy. And another little flow, inhaling, expanding, exhaling back to your little human ball. And the last round. Good. With the next inhalation, opening up and reaching up. And exhaling, dropping hands at the front. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. When we lengthen the spine, the tailbone points out. And with the exhalation, walking the same, walking with hands, resting head and neck, feeling heavy. Keep sitting bones grounding on the mat or on your prop. And about 10 breaths. Last couple of rounds. Then slowly using next inhalation, walking back to center. And now we can come out from the posture. So sending to your side the prop. Let's extend the legs for a moment, resting hands at the back. Then just bring a bit of movement on the legs. Maybe give them a little shake here before we continue. Great. So from here, we'll be crossing our shins, meeting on our tabletop. Great. So from our tabletop, let's try to tuck feet in. This can be a bit uncomfortable, but if you can hold it for a bit, that would be really good to stretch the fascia of the body. Great. So slowly, let's walk with hands toward the knees, sitting on the heels if we find ourselves comfortable. If not, coming up with the hips. Great. And as we are here, interlacing hands, just give a little warm up for the wrists, so drawing some 8 shapes with your hands and wrists for about 5 more breaths. Last deep breath. Good. Then from here, we'll be coming back into our tabletop. Good. We keep the position of the feet if that's fine. If not, always resting feet whenever you need. Great. And we'll move into our puppy pose. So without moving hips from the line that keeps hips and knees aligned, just walking with your hands, sliding your arms, resting forehead on the mat. Good. Puppy pose. This is really, really good for digestion complications. We are working with the intestine meridian. Great. So we'll be holding this pose for a bit, about 1 minute, more of a yin approach. I know you girls enjoy yin, so let's focus in opening up the chest muscles, sending the heart towards the spine, towards the mat. And the tailbone points up towards the ceiling. So imagine the spine is a banana shape. But we keep the abdomen, the core slightly engaged. So trying to send the belly button only slightly inside towards the spine. Excellent. And the last breath or so. Great. So from here we'll be moving in our Sphinx pose. So slowly sliding upper body forward, then resting feet, resting pelvis on the mat. Good. More or less we'll find shoulders aligned with our shoulders, so with our elbows. Good. We can relax the the legs, the glutes here for more of a yin approach. Then just dropping the chin towards the throat, finding that good stretch at the back of the neck. Then from here we can maybe draw half moon shapes with our hat on the exhalations, chin towards the throat, and with the inhalations, chin towards the shoulders. And about 3 more breaths. Great, then we come back with our neutral neck. And you're making now a pillow with your hands, one on top of the other, opening elbows, resting forehead on top of that pillow. Just taking a couple of 3 breaths. All right, and whenever you feel recovered, we'll bring hands under the shoulders, and on the inhalation, extending the arms. Good. We'll take back feet in, external rotation of your arms. So the inside elbow points front. Spread the fingers as much as you can, then start to send hips all the way up. Good. So just finding your downward facing dog. We keep the knees bent so we can find a bit more space in the spine. Starting to paddle one foot after the next. All right, and about last 3 breaths. Good. So with the next inhalation, let's send the right foot in between the hands with control always from your core. Dropping the right foot, light like a feather. Good. Dropping the left knee, and we can also relax the left foot. Great. So we'll find our low lunge. Stay a few moments here, relaxing the muscles, allowing the hips to sink. Great, so keep pressing the left big toe against your mat, engaging your inner thighs, and slowly with your inhalation, reaching up with the arms. And with the exhalation, bending the elbows, finding your cactus position. Good. If we find the body is coming forward a lot, then slowly sending upper body back, lower ribs into the body. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. And inhaling, reaching all the way up. And with the exhalation, both hands inside part of the right foot. And now we can relax the muscles. Keep sinking hips towards the mat. Good. And we'll move into a few twists. So keep the right hand grounded on your mat. And with the exhalation, left hand slowly comes up. Keep pressing the knee towards your armpit. Good. And with the next exhalation, left hand on the mat. Good. Finding solid base on the left hand. And with the next exhalation, right hand comes up. Another twist. Then again, keep sending the right knee towards the center of the body. That's how we lock the bandhas. Good. And a bit of movement here. So with the exhalation, the right hand comes down, big circle, inhaling up, exhaling down, backing down. Great. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, we move back into our downward facing dog. Good. Staying in downward dog, or maybe finding the child's pose, or any position to take a little break. Good. Keep connecting with the abdomen. Then with control, inhaling, left foot forward between the hands, dropping right knee and right foot. Good. Few moments here, softening up the hamstrings, sinking the hips. Great. And now we continue pressing the right big toe against the mat, engaging your inner thighs and inhaling, reaching up with the arms, exhaling, bending elbows. And inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, both hands inside part of the left foot. Good. We keep pressing left knee towards our left arm. Inhaling here and using the exhalation, twist to the right. And exhaling, dropping right hand, taking one inhalation. And with the exhalation, left fingertips pointing up to the ceiling. Keep sending left knee towards center edge of the body. And those few circles, exhaling, Left arm drops back. Inhaling forward. Last circle. Great, then inhaling, reaching all the way up. Exhaling back. This time, right foot forward. Nose to your knees. Bending knees as much as we need. Good. Just a little break here in our fold. Great, so we could do a few things. Interlacing fingers, placing hands at the back of the hat, and with the thumbs massaging the back of the neck. This is quite nice if we have loads of tensions around shoulders and the back of the neck. Good. If the tensions are more around the nervous system, then what we can do to relax the nervous system is to place hands at the back of, underneath the feet. But not just the fingertips, the whole hand. So we need to bend the knees as much as we need. Good. And slowly we let go, hands back into the mat. Great, bending knees as much as we can. Head feels heavy, shoulders and arms feels relaxed. And slowly inhaling, starting to roll the spine from your lower back. Slowly, slowly to the upper back. Good, and the shoulders last. Okay, so from here we'll find our warriors. Let's practice some foundations. So let's place the right foot back. Good. The right foot will be open about 45 degrees. Right, we'll be bending the left knee, finding our left ankle. Just hands on your wrist for a moment. The hips tend to open, but we are going to square them front. So the right hip comes forward, the left hip back. And when we do this, the right foot, the back foot, tends to bring the weight of the body at the inner edge of the foot. So we'll be placing against the back of the foot instead. Great. The belly button slightly into the spine. Inhaling, reaching up with the arms. And hold here for about 5 more breaths. And now we'll be opening in our warrior 2. So slowly now allow the hips to open to the right, arms comes parallel to the mat. And now maybe we can open the right foot a little bit. Great, we keep engaging the inner thighs and the nose points front. Last deep breath. Great. Then slowly we'll be stepping right foot forward and change. Left foot back, opening 45 degrees. Squaring the hips front. Weight of the body, outer edge of your left foot. Inhaling, reaching up. Last deep breath. Then let's move into our warrior two. Opening up, upper body, hips to the left. Opening left foot a little bit. Nose point front. Great. Last deep breath. Then with control, exhaling, left foot forward. Great. And now we'll be going back to the mat. So let's place feet at the edge of the mat. The toes point out and the heels point in. Then we'll reach up with the next inhalation. Palms together, exhaling. Let's start to bend the knees. Slowly, slowly. Sink the hips. It's okay if we need to be in deep toes, that's fine. We're starting to find that space around the hips. Good. Our last deep breath. And again, with control, as light as possible, we'll be sitting on the mat. Bring knees together. Right, little check here. All right, and we'll take an inhalation, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, starting to roll the spine down on the mat. Great. Trying to keep the spine in contact to the mat. And we'll finish with another spinal twist before we go in Shavasana. Let's cross the right leg on top of the left. And with the hips stepping to the right side. And with the next exhalation, dropping knees to the left. Don't worry much about reaching the floor with the knees. Last deep breath. And using next inhalation, coming back to center. Good. Coming out from the posture, little shake to the legs. Then we'll do the same towards the other side. So focusing first into the spine is in contact to the mat, also the middle part of the spine. Then crossing left leg on top of the right, hips stepping to the left, and with the next exhalation, knees dropping to the right. Finding the twist into your upper body. And last deep breath. And using next inhalation, coming back to center, releasing position. Another shake to the legs, trying to disconnect the muscle from the bones. See how tense you feel. Good. And from here, allowing the legs to be nice and relaxed on the mat. If the spine feels that big space in between mat and spine, then we'll bring feet on the mat so that give us a bit more of rest. We'll close the practice with a few moments of Shavasana. So today we'll have a silent Shavasana, maybe using this moment for whatever you need. Maybe again coming back into the intention of the class, allowing yourself a bit of space inside to fill up with whatever makes you feel joy and happy, and time to release things that no longer are serving us. After yoga, asana is a good moment to drop things, practice non-attachment. This relaxation is coming to the end. Slowly we'll begin to bring light movement, starting gentle wiggle from toes and fingers. And slowly, bits by bits, allowing any movement that comes into the body. Good. So maybe drawing knees towards the chest, a little rock side to side, massaging the lower back. Then dropping knees to one of the sides, finding fetal pose. If you need extra few moments, staying here to fully recover, and slowly we'll be meeting in a comfortable seated position. Great, so we'll be closing the practice with a little self-reflection. If you like to bring the hands into your Namaste Mudra, let's try to connect with our cardiac rhythm through the thumbs. And just observing for a moment how is the natural rhythm of breath, and if you find any changes, any differences. And we'll take the last breath all together, sending and receiving some love. So we'll take an exhalation here, empty the lungs. Then inhaling, reaching up with both arms. And with the exhalation, slowly drawing that energy back into the heart. Thank you very much.